Okay, so let's go over 7, 8, and 9. So you were supposed to do those three on your own and then check yourself. So on 7, I had to take negative 2y and plug that whole thing in for x. So I get negative 2y minus y equals 9. That makes negative 3y divided by negative 3. And I get y equals negative 3. So I then plug that negative 3 back in for y here. So I get x equals negative 2 times negative 3, which is 6. So that's what we got here. On the next one, I plug in negative 2 for y. So I do 3 times negative 2. When I do that, I get 6x. I have to bring down this negative 6x. Negative 6x plus 6x, those things cancel. So I'm left with 0. And I get 0 equals 16, which is not true. And it's kind of opposite of what happened up here. So since it's not true, there's no solution. So those two lines will never intersect. So that means that they're parallel. Okay. Number 9, I'm taking all of negative 3x and plugging it in for y. So I would multiply that by negative 2, which would give me a positive 6x. There's 4x that's going to be at the front, so I bring that down. 4x's and 6x's makes 10x's. 10x's equal negative 20. Divide by 10, x equals negative 2. So I take the negative 2 and I plug it in for x right here. So I do negative 3 times negative 2 to give me a positive 6. All right. Back side. Right now we are just going to do, I think we're just going to do the evens for right now. Okay, so this one has more work. So this is everything that y is equal to. I'm going to take that whole thing and I'm going to plug in for y here. When I do that, I get negative 3x plus 4 equals 4x minus 10. Okay, and so now it's just a multi-step equation that you would solve in algebra. So I'm going to add 3x's to both sides. So I get 4 equals 7x minus 10. And my goal is to get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract or add 10 to both sides. That cancels. So I get 14 equals 7x. Divide by 7 to get x by itself. So I get x equals 2. So what I'm going to do then, though, is I have to plug in the 2 into this guy right here. So I get y equals negative 3 times 2 plus 4. So that's going to help me solve for y. So I get y equals negative 6 plus 4. So y equals negative 2. So my point is at 2 comma negative 2. Okay. Next, let's go down to number 12. This is what y equals. I'm going to take that whole thing and I'm going to plug that in for y. So I'm going to do 4x plus 3. The 3 stays there. But I'm going to put this in parentheses because I have to multiply that 3 on the outside to everything that I'm plugging in from this y right here. That equals 1. So again, what I did was y equals this whole thing. So I took that whole thing and plugged it in for y right here. You're going to have to distribute to get rid of those parentheses. So 4x stays there. Plus 9x, because 3 times 3x is 9x, minus 3 times 4 is 12. That equals 1. Combine like terms, same side. Oops, not that one. 4x's and 9x's make 13x's, so minus 12 equals 1. We want to get x by itself, that's our goal, so I'm going to add 12 to both sides, opposite operation, so I get 13x equals 13. So if I divide by 13 on both sides, I get x equals 1. Now, to solve for y, I plug that 1 back in for the x up here. So I do y equals 3 times 1 minus 4. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So my point is at 1 comma negative 1. All right, I'm going to pause, and I want you to pause, and I want you to try number 14 completely on your own. Okay, so now what I've done is I've taken what x equals all of this, 3y plus 1, and then plugging it in for x. So here's where it came. 2 is on the outside, plug in 3y plus 1, and then bring down the rest, 4y equals 12. I distribute, got 6y plus 2. When I distribute that, bring this down, plus 4y equals 12. Combine like terms, same side to get 10y, plus 2 equals 12. Start getting y by itself, so I subtract 2 from both sides, I get 10y equals 10. Divide by 10, and y equals 1. I then plug in the 1 for the y right here, so I do 3 times 1 plus 1. That gives me 4, so my point is at 4, 1. Number 16 It's a word problem. Sometimes we get a little nervous when we see word problems and we're like, it's a word problem, I'm just going to skip it. This one, guys, is actually pretty easy, and you guys will be able to get this, okay? It says, next week your math teacher is giving a chapter test. The test will consist of 35 questions, so that's important information. 35 questions. Some are worth 2 points, and some are worth 4 points. There's 20 questions worth 2 points. How many problems of 4 points are on the test? So if I have 20 questions worth 2 points, also important information, how many questions does that leave me? So 35 minus the 20 leaves me with 15. Well, are there any problems on the test that are other than 2 points and 4 points? There's not, so that means there's 15 questions that are 4 points, and that's all it is. Okay, so what you will do now is there will be a Schoology homework assignment over this concept, but you're also doing an annotating worksheet assignment in Schoology over this, where you have to do questions just 2, 4, and 6, so just that even on the next page. Do not do it on this sheet. I have PDF'd this sheet into the assignment, so you will save the PDF. You will do the annotating using your screen. Using your touch screen, and then you will save it and upload that back into Schoology. Okay? All right, guys. Thanks.